And the trip begins. This is our starting mileage on the motorhome. We just purchased it. It's a 1994 Holiday Rambler. The mileage is 133,247. That's what it has on it right now. So this diesel engine's just barely getting broken in. And this is going to be our trip right here, 2,300 miles. As we leave Wisconsin, we're going to go down to Arkansas to see our friends and do some maintenance work on the rig. You know, oil changes and things, and then we'll end up in Yuma and then hopefully back in Salt Lake City. Good morning, everyone. This is David with Tigner Adventures, and we have got on the road. We are taking this new motorhome down to Yuma, Arizona. And I probably should have taped yesterday a little bit. We had a few issues. These batteries had to be replaced. They were about 6 years old, and because it is getting so cold, they just kept losing their charge during the night. So we got a little late start yesterday because we had to charge the batteries up, and then we made a beeline for an O'Reilly that happen to have these batteries in stock. They are a Group 31 battery, so not everybody carries that, but these guys kind of specialize in RV stuff, so that was kind of nice. But so we put these two new batteries in, and then we headed on down the road. So we are now, or we actually last night, we overnighted here at this Cracker Barrel. And this is interesting. They have this sign here that says, you know, you can't park here. And so we went in and talked to the lady at the front. She says, you can park here. If you park in the RV parking, you'll be just fine. And they just don't want you parking in the back of the store where the trucks are trying to come in to do their deliveries. And then we talked to our server just to double check, because it's like the sign says that, so we're kind of a little worried. So then we talked to our server, because I was just a little bit worried about that, you know, because the sign says no parking here, and the server says, well, they have a new manager that doesn't like RVs to park here overnight. He doesn't understand that that's what Cracker Barrel does. So we're trying to teach him, and he just basically wants to make sure that the truckers that are delivering supplies can get in and out. So kind of an interesting setup. You know, I guess every Cracker Barrel is different. We normally call ahead, but yesterday it was so chaotic and we were so behind in leaving that, you know, I didn't even call. And before we could leave, we had to get a permit. So you can see here we've got our papers, and we have a 30-day permit to license. You know, it has no license plates, so we had to get basically a license so we can drive this to Yuma, so we can get it licensed in Arizona. If I was in Arizona, I could have just went down to the DMV, gave them the, you know, taken the title into them, and they would have gave me my plates right there. So the problem was I wasn't in Yuma, so, or anywhere in Arizona really. So we came from Salt Lake. So this worked out really well. It was $8 for the 30-day permit, so can't complain about that. So now today is a new day. We have a 10-hour driving day. So Greg and I are going to be trading off every 2 hours as we make this 10-hour drive. We are headed down to Arkansas to see Bill and Darla from Economic Refugees. Bill has a 95 diesel pusher, and he is going to show me around the rig a little bit more in detail than Lynn could show me. And we're going to do a number of different, the oil change, the transmission change, and a bunch of filter changes and things on this rig. So I currently have the generator running on the rig, so we have AC power right now. Lynn loaned me one of her lithium batteries, so I do have some 12-volt power until we can get the system all set up. But we're on 120 right now just to get my laptop charged up this morning. Generator runs great. It will need servicing also. It's an Onan generator is what that is. So anyway, runs really nice, and it's a big one too. It's a 10 kV. I think it's 10, maybe it's 8. One of those. Greg and I were looking at it yesterday, and he said it was bigger than his. That's all I know. So not that we're having any comparison things going on here. But anyway, we are going to grab a couple large cups of coffee. We're just waiting for Cracker Barrel to open here, and then we're on the road. All right, we are in the rig, and we are ready to get started. And it's nice to have new batteries now. So just going to show you how this works a little bit. All right, let me show you the dash here really quick and how we get started in the morning. Over here is the key ignition, the air, and a couple different little switches. We've got our speedometer and RPMs there with the fuel gauge, and then we got some other gauges over here that are temperature gauges for the transmission and water. The important one at this point, if I swing back over here, is right here in the middle. I'm sorry for the reflection here. It's like a mirror. So anyway, this one right here is our air pressure, and so we have to be up to pressure, and that raises the rig up and everything, gets it ready for the road. So first thing we do is if we turn this on, we get this wait for start, and once that's done, then we can go ahead and crank it over. And what's beeping is over here. This is our low air. So that'll go there. And basically what happens is we have to wait for these air pressures to build up before we can actually move the coach. All right, so now you can see that the two pins on that gauge are both up to about 110 or 110 pressure. And so now we're ready to go. Over here we have our park brake on, and that's this yellow button down here. We'll push that in. That releases the brakes, the park brakes. But we have to push on our brake pedal here before we push that other one in. So this is gas, this is brake. Then over here is our transmission. So we're in neutral right now. That's what the ends are. So we'd go to reverse or drive, and we can shift up and down manually, or it'll just do it by itself. So that's pretty much it. We're ready to get on the road. Okay, everybody, we have made it to Arkansas, or according to Greg, it's Arkansas. But hey, we are in Arkansas visiting our friends. We got Bill and Darla here. We were here back at the eclipse.
In April.
Yeah, in April. And I'm back because they have the same rig. Yeah, we're still friends. They have the same rig, except it's 1 year newer. So Bill's going to give us a ton of advice, and we're going to listen to him because he's experienced.
This is what he does to me, and then there's so much, like...
Yes, they edit me.
All the time.
So anyway, we are here visiting them for a couple nights here while we work on the rig. This is Economic Refugees, is their YouTube channel, and they're kind of changing things up just a little bit. They have their RV here, and they have 2 spots, so everybody should come and stay here.
Yeah, it's only $200 a night. Come on.
So I haven't got my bill yet, but he's promising he sent it to
You
me.
still owe
so.
me for the eclipse.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, but now they're moving into this building a little house. So I'm going to show you this. So if you're interested in seeing some of this stuff, check out their YouTube channel, because they're videotaping that, and you can kind of see what it's like to. They like to travel, but they want to have a place. You guys actually bought this back during
6 years ago.
During COVID, because you know how COVID was. You had to have a place to go.
Actually, a little before.
You had to have some place to go, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you were staying with your brother, and then you found this, yeah. Because we got kicked out of...
It took us 3 years just to get this pad done. So.
Oh. Well, we got kicked out of Lake Mead, and the guy was so rude when I said, well, where are we supposed to go? And he goes, go home. And I go, this is our home. He goes, well, then go buy something. And I was like, what a real jerk that guy was. So anyway, let's check out these guys' little homestead thing they're doing here. They got a lot of work to do. So this is the old shed that was on this property. and they're putting footings in. They're going to use a little bit of that shed as part of the framing, but they're putting in a whole new house on this 1 acre of property so that they can come in here and at least have a washer and dryer to do their laundry and things like that, and a nice kitchen. So today we have a few filters that we're going to be replacing on the rig. We're going to change our oil, change our transmission oil, change the fuel filter and the water filter. And here is all the oil, the old oil and transmission oil. It takes 5 gallons of oil for the oil change, and it takes 5 gallons of transmission fluid for the transmission change. So we've done all that and then replaced all the filters. And here are all the old filters, so the filters that we ended up changing and everything. Good morning. What a day, or what a night. So we left Bill and Darla's. We did get all the service work done. We are at a Cracker Barrel in Abilene. And look here, these trees are full of birds. This is like a bird refuge for Cracker Barrel. There's a Walmart right across the street right there. So all the truckers are coming in and parking. And then, you know, we have a number of RVs that are parking here at Cracker Barrel. And so pretty nice setup here, but these birds have been going at it all night. Never slowed down once. So I don't know what the deal is. You'd think that they would go to sleep at some time. Well, we have finished our breakfast in Cracker Barrel and have come back out to the rig, and look at this. There is not really a bird to be found. So I heard one, nothing like last night. So I don't know if they were just migrating through and they all stopped here for all at one place, but we were looking at the phone lines and all that kind of stuff. There is no birds anywhere. Really, really weird. We are at another Cracker Barrel. This is like our 5th Cracker Barrel, and we're just having all kinds of fun. It's either Cracker Barrel or McDonald's. That's what I have gift cards for. So anyway, we're having a great dinner tonight. So this will be great, and we'll continue the trip tomorrow morning. Just wanted to show you that we are eating and eating good. Well, we're back in Yuma and got all parked in our site for now. And as we started checking out the rig a little bit, look, found this nice little split on our tire. So we're not really sure where that came from. You can tell the tire's been rubbed against the curb a little bit, but it wasn't that high, so kind of interesting. So this tire for sure is going to have to be replaced. And then apparently we got a little too close to a guardrail while we're making a turn, so we scraped the side of the rig a little bit, so that will have to be fixed. But overall, we got here safe, and it's all parked and ready to go. Now we just have to get back to Salt Lake City. Well, it is 10:30 at night in Phoenix, and I have taken the Greyhound bus from Yuma to Phoenix, and I am now walking to the SkyTram to go over to the airport. So quite the adventure. So the plan was that Greg and I were going to take a bus from Yuma to Phoenix, and then we could catch our flights once we got to Phoenix. However, Greg's son works for Southwest, and he was able to get a flight right out of Yuma this morning. So when we got up, I took him to the airport, and he flew out, and then I took the bus by myself. So it wasn't quite the plan, but it's worked out just fine. I'm now here in Phoenix, and that's what's important. So now my regular flight doesn't leave until tomorrow night, so I am checked in on that flight, but I'm going to see if I can catch an earlier flight once I actually get to the terminal. So I'm going to be spending the night in the terminal tonight though, but hey, that's just part of the adventure, and is not the first time that I have done that, so not a big deal.
Please hold on. This train is bound for Terminal 4, East Economy Mall and 44th Street Station.
I have made it to the Southwest Terminal, they do not open until 3 a.m. So I've got to wait until at least that time just to see if there's any other options, or to at least pick up my boarding pass so I can get through security, and then I can work on gates or something at that point, I guess. I don't know. This is all new to me. Well, I have made it to Salt Lake City. So I was able to catch the first flight out of Denver, so that was nice. It was kind of a long night. The chairs aren't very good to sleep on, but anyway, we're here, we're back, and Ninette is on her way to pick me up. She should be here any minute. So, you know, this was a whirlwind of a trip. It's 2,300 miles. And so there's a lot of things I didn't include, and a lot of times I didn't videotape and things. So sorry about that, but this just kind of gives you an idea what happened. And then I'll be doing a lot more in-depth videos about the rig as I start doing some work on it and things like that. But at this point, I'm back in Salt Lake City. We're going to leave tomorrow and head on down south to southern Utah. We'll start making our way down that way, and eventually in the next couple weeks we'll be back in Yuma again. So I guess I went to the wrong spot, so it's all my fault. She went to passenger pickup, I went to Uber. You just need to be Uber, then I could pay you. Anyway, back together again. So thanks for coming along. It's good to be back home. It's been a long trip.
Hurry, the guy is going to come yell at me.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys take care.